Welcome YouTube audience to the follow-up video to AlphaOmegaSin's Q&A. So here I am. As promised, I gave it a week and decided I'm finally going to follow through with all the answers to all of your questions. So here we go. Nero Wheeler asked, okay, here goes. Do you think it's offensive when somebody calls you a nerd, or are you just happy? Well, I am just happy anytime somebody calls me a nerd because nobody could really say it in a way that would be offensive to me. Even if somebody was saying it in a way of like, I'm trying to be offensive, I'm trying to piss you off and make you all angry and everything, like, you fucking nerd. And I'm like, seriously, that's the best? You can't call somebody something that they are very proud of. That's like somebody, you fucking metalhead! Take that. Like, nah. I would honestly just turn it around on the person immediately within seconds and just start laughing at them for being fucking asinine enough to call me something that I'm obviously most proud of being. So, yeah. When it comes to somebody saying that, no, I wouldn't get offended at all. Mr. Brightside394 asked, can you sneer while you've been offline? I don't know. Here's my Elvis sneer. Anyway, as far as me being offline, I was switching internet providers. So for me to get online was a pain in the ass. Like, the only reason I was able to upload videos was because I was like going to my friends' houses and my family's house and uploading videos there. So I'd record here, I'd leave, go drive to their place, upload, and there you go. That was the only way I was even up to date on shit. Plus my phone was being an asshole to me, so I couldn't really check shit on there. So yeah, I was pretty much just off the grid for like a little over 2 weeks. Terrible. And especially whenever E3 is like, you know, happening and I'm just not able to see shit that's going on. Yeah, it's pretty much terrible in every single way. But yeah, I'm online right now, so yeah. Fucking owns. Mr. Buckethead Cover asks, what's your favorite Mother game? I would have to say the one on Super Nintendo, just plain old Earthbound. That one is my favorite because that's the first one that I got to play. I didn't actually get to play the one on NES until I got an emulator, and I enjoyed the living shit out of that. That one was really good. There is one for Nintendo 64 I've never gotten to try yet, unfortunately. But yeah, I'd have to say out of any of them, the SNES one I have fond memories of from when I was little, so that would by far be my favorite. Hitomi Love as number 1, which is your favorite RPG of all time? And number 2, do you have a favorite female character of all time? Well, as far as favorite RPG of all time, as cliche as it sounds, Final Fantasy VII is actually one of my all-time favorites. Now, a lot of people will be, you know, on one side of the fence or the other, so just bear with me. Final Fantasy VII, I got to play when the game first came out. I mean, I was in middle school when it came out. So when it came out, like, my mind was just fucking blown. When you saw the commercials on TV, you were just like, holy shit, you know? And that was pretty much like the start for me as like being a big fan of RPGs. So really, if it wasn't for Final Fantasy VII, I wouldn't even care about the genre as much as I do now. Now, as for a female character, I'm going to assume that you mean like a favorite female character maybe in RPGs. If that's the case, I'll probably have to go with Millennia. She's from Grandia too. She's one of the main characters in that. I liked her a lot because she kind of reminded me of a character from an anime called Tenchi, and her name was Ryoko. Those two actually remind me of one another, but Millennia, she was like an evil person, but wasn't fully evil, and she's really powerful and could beat the living shit out of you, and that was pretty cool. And she also said like a bunch of wise-ass, smart-ass things, so I found that pretty funny. But yeah, out of RPG, she's probably my favorite character. So yeah, hopefully that answers your questions. TommyBoy4550 asks, when did you start collecting video games? Also, which system are you currently collecting for at the moment? As far as starting to collect games, is probably a little over 10 years ago that I actually started collecting, like seriously collecting. Like, I always amassed like a decent size collection of games, but then I go and trade in a bunch of shit and go get something. But I realized that over time, I kept going and rebuying things over and over again, and then it hit me one day that some of the games I was rebuying were getting more and more expensive. And I couldn't just keep coughing up the money, trading in shit. Then I had like no games to play whatsoever, and I only had one game, so I traded in everything just to have that one fucking game. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to keep everything. And eventually, my PS1 collection was probably the first thing I started collecting for, because that's the system I had at the time that was like really big. And so I started collecting for that, and once that got to like 40 something games, then it actually looked like a collection, and then I got PS2, and as you see, that just became a fucking monster. As for what I'm collecting right now, there isn't anything real specific that I'm collecting for. I'm actually in the midst of just picking up random things. So at the moment, I'm not really like going all out like, oh man, I'm going to pick up big bunches of games, because there's just this month alone, there's like 5 games coming out that I want. One of which I'm going to go get pretty soon, which is Duke Nukem Forever. But yeah, that's pretty much when I started collecting games. But as for what I'm collecting right now, just anything that catches my eye. PSP445 asks, hey, are you shitting your pants in excitement for E3? Because I know I am. Well, no, I'm not shitting my pants over E3. I'll never be shitting my pants over E3. Unless they announce every single thing that I've ever wanted and said that it's going to be free. That's the only way that I'll start shitting my pants. As a matter of fact, I'll wear extra pairs of pants so I can shit in them just for an occasion like that. E3's already come and gone. I already know most of the shit that happened. Yeah, it definitely wasn't a shit your pants, kind of situation going on there. Nothing really like absolutely mind-blowing that my pants need to be covered in doo-doo butter. So yeah, not shitting my pants. Excited? Sort of, I guess. Glue Tub asked, have you ever heard of Slipknot? And if you have, what do you think of them? Well, I have heard of Slipknot. As a matter of fact, I used to listen to Slipknot a whole bunch when I was younger. I don't really so much now. Now all I really listen to is like death metal and like old thrash metal. But there's also new bands that have the old thrash metal sound, so I'm also listening to them too. But yeah, I don't really listen to Slipknot so much. I mean, if they were put on, I wouldn't really object. I'm like, oh my god, my ears are fucking bleeding or something. It's just something I listened to when I was younger. I don't really listen to a whole lot anymore. So yeah, I have heard of them. I liked them a whole bunch back in the day. The Lone Wolf 997 asks, can you make a rant on the Resident Evil games that don't have anything to do with the story like Dead Aim and Outbreak? Well, I could make a rant about them. I may someday. I don't know. All the offshoot Resident Evil games, they're really hit or miss. They're usually missed though, because you have like the Outbreak games, you have Dead Aim, like you said. You have the fucking dreaded Resident Evil Gaiden, which is absolutely fucking horrible. Most of the time, whenever Resident Evil decides to just like go off in its own little random direction and not follow the core story, it turns into an absolute fucking mess, because it doesn't seem like they give it enough of their actual time and dedication. They kind of just throw a game together, slap the name Resident Evil on it, and cross their fucking fingers and hope. I hope this shit sells, because, well, we need extra money so we can support other franchises. Yeah, but yeah, yeah, I might do a rant on it someday. I don't know. I have so many rants to do. So many rants to do. Ballin' Nick, 1982, asks, what generation of gaming do you enjoy more? The more current games, 360, PS3, DS, Wii, PSP, etc., or retro games, NES through PS1 era? Sincerely, I would have to go with older retro type games, and here's one of the reasons why. NES and PS1, I consider the two best game consoles ever to exist. Ever. If you weren't around like back when those consoles were new, it may not be able to sink in just as much, but when they were out, it was just, everything was like fresh and new and exciting, it was just absolutely fucking mind-blowing. Nowadays, I don't actually get that feeling nearly as much. I mean, I get it every so often whenever I go to pick up a game, but not nearly as much as I did way back then whenever things were new. Like, when Mario 64 came out, my eyes, I had to have surgically put back into my fucking skull, because I saw the game and was just like, oh my fucking god. Like, just blown away. Seeing the Final Fantasy games for the first time, like, seeing the cutscenes, you were just like, holy shit, like, seeing any game on NES that, like, looked nice graphically, like the cutscenes in Ninja Gaiden, or getting to play Super Mario 3 for the first time, it was all just, like, overwhelmingly awesome. Nowadays, it happens sometimes. Like, when Arkham Asylum came out, yeah, I was glued to my fucking TV, just like, I love this game, every single fucking bit of it. I'm never gonna stop playing. Well, I will eventually, but not right now. Like it was a good time for gaming back then. Nowadays, yeah, I mean it's cool. Just I don't know. It's my preference. That's all I can say. Hospital Waste asks number one. LOL, I'm a metalhead, so I want to know what's your all-time favorite band. Mine is Lamb of God. You must love them too. Number two, what's your all-time favorite video game, console slash or video game? Number three, what about Amon Amarth action figure with the Searcher Rising? Did you pick it up? Number four, how motherfucking hard are you going to keep rocking? I love the vids, man. Well, to answer your first question, I do have a favorite band of all time, and it just so happens to be Pantera. Pantera is my all-time favorite band ever. It's kind of sad that we can't hear any more albums from them because, I mean, the last one was over 10 years ago. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. But they're quite literally the reason why I'm a metalhead in general. I mean, there's other bands out there that kind of paved my taste in music just from listening to them all the time, kind of like Slayer and Cannibal Corpse, Death. All those bands, they're really awesome, but the thing is, Pantera pretty much is the reason why I like the music that I like right now. So yeah, they would most definitely be my number one choice. Now, as for a favorite video game or favorite video game console, I'd have to go with favorite video game console, because that's a little bit easier for me to answer. Because favorite all-time video game, I can't even answer that. There's just too fucking many. But favorite game console, I'd probably go with PS1. It used to be for a long time that it was the regular NES. I just loved the NES so much because it was the reason why I got into gaming. But the PS1 was my transition from being a fan of video games to a hardcore fucking gamer, loved all this shit. I just said gamer. Gamer. I said it real weird. Anyway. That's how I became a hardcore gamer, was because of PS1. All those little fucking games over there, yeah, 32-bit goodness. If it wasn't for games like Twisted Metal and Resident Evil and Tomb Raider and fucking all the Final Fantasies and everything, I wouldn't love half the genres I like, I wouldn't be in half the franchises I'm into. It was just a really good time for gaming, and yeah, PS1 fucking owns. I didn't actually pick up the album, unfortunately, not yet. I'm actually in the middle of getting all of my music back because after my hard drive had completely fucking flatlined, I lost a bunch of my music, so I'm in the midst of getting it all back. So it's something I will eventually go and pick up. And as for how fucking hard I'm going to keep rocking, oh, I'm going to keep rocking pretty fucking hard. Hard rocking. Rocking hard. I don't know how to say it without sounding like a fucking retard. So, yeah, I'm going to keep doing exactly what I'm doing. So, if what I'm doing is rocking absolutely fucking hard enough to blow your fucking brains out of the back of your skull and paint the fucking living room nice little color of like red and pink and, I don't know, bone shrapnel color, then yeah, I'm going to keep doing that. Which I hope I'm not killing people. I'd feel really bad seeing on the news. AlphaOmegaSin inadvertently kills somebody by rocking too fucking hard. Brains all over the place. It looked real sweet, but seriously, it took like hours to clean up. And that's going to be a really big news headline. It's going to take up like this much fucking room. But yeah, I'm going to keep on fucking rocking hard. 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 Mr. Video Man 12345 asks, which shows do you like better? Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures? What is your favorite GameCube game? And where did you find your Virtual Boy? As for Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures, I really don't watch either show, to be honest. I've actually caught both shows whenever I go and see my mom, and I'd have to say out of both of them, I'd probably watch Ghost Hunters. If I had to choose between the two, it seems less corny. I don't know. As for your favorite GameCube game, I'll have to go with Super Mario Sunshine. Now, I would normally say something like, I don't know, Resident Evil 4 or Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, but both of those games have superior ports on different consoles. Both of them actually have better ports on the Wii. So, as for just like a pure GameCube game, yeah, I'll go with Super Mario Sunshine. I mean, there's other games on there that I like a whole lot that would definitely be considered for a favorite, kind of like, let's see, Resident Evil, the remake. I like that a whole lot. Eternal Darkness was really good. Super Mario Kart Double Dash, like that a lot. Metroid Prime Trilogy, all three of those games are really badass. So yeah, GameCube had a lot of really good games, but I'd have to put Super Mario Sunshine at the top just because it was a really good Mario game. It wasn't as good as Super Mario 64, but I still liked it a lot. And lastly, where did I get my Virtual Boy? I actually have two Virtual Boys. The first one I got whenever I was at a thrift store because I was actually working there part-time, like really, really long time ago, and I had seen it, and she had it marked for $8, and I got a discount, so I got half off. So I got a Virtual Boy with Mario Tennis for $4. It didn't have box or anything, but it worked. She didn't know what the hell it was. She was just like, just take it, $4. So I was like, woohoo, yeah. The other one I got when I was at a flea market, and it was $10. So yeah, and it came with like a big bundle of games, like a whole lot. As a matter of fact, that's where I got most of my Virtual Boy games because it was like an entire stack, which included Jack Brothers, which if you're familiar with Virtual Boy, it's like the rarest game, and it was there for $10 along with the system. So yeah, it was pretty fucking badass. BioPhoenix asks, do you like the Sengoku Basara series? It's like Dynasty Warriors, just so you know. Yeah, I actually do like it. Now, I played it recently, and it is like Dynasty Warriors. So me and my friend CJ actually like Dynasty Warriors a lot, along with a couple of my other friends like Troy. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors is just really badass. I like the series even though it's extremely repetitive. I mean, they're on like Dynasty Warriors like 50 fucking 2 or some shit. Like there's so many Dynasty Warriors games, but there's other games like it, like 99 Nights. I like the games a lot because it's just run around and kill everything in sight, get stronger, get new equipment, get dudes run around with you to kill all the mindless assholes that are running your way. So yeah, I like the games, and as far as Sengoku goes, yeah, I like that too. CoolVids19 asks, what do you think will the future of gaming be, digital or not? I think eventually that gaming will go all digital for one main reason. Because eventually it'll be a lot cheaper. As a matter of fact, you gotta think the cost for just producing, you know, Blu-rays, DVDs, the little, like the SD type cards that the Nintendo DS and the 3DS are on, all that costs extra money. You know, the case, the manuals, the artwork, all of it costs extra money for them. If they turned it all digital, then yeah, they would be able to save themselves a lot of money and cut out a lot of middlemen. Middlemen meaning like GameStop, any kind of game store really, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, just in general, they'd be able to sell exclusively directly on maybe their own network, or if it becomes like, I don't know, like on PC or something, anything like that. So yeah, I think eventually it will become digital. Sick Cooper asks, what do you think of the bands Aborted, Job for a Cowboy, and Cattle Decapitation? And secondly, why don't you make pickup videos? I personally would love to see them. As for what do I think of those bands, I fucking love all those bands. They're awesome. I actually do listen to every single one of those bands. Out of all three of them, I probably listen to Aborted the most, though. I've seen Job for a Cowboy twice, though, just because I caught them both times whenever they come through Pittsburgh. As for pickup videos, I've really thought about doing pickup videos, to be honest. I just didn't think anybody would be interested in them. So I might do them. Now, you know, if you guys are actually interested in me doing pickup videos, I guess say so, and I'll do them. Because I get a lot of shit, like, every single week. And it kind of just goes on my shelf or goes directly into the game system, and I start playing it. So, yeah. Like, I just recently got Steel Battalion for Xbox. I thought about just talking about that, but yeah, that's just an example of something I bought recently. But, yeah, that's why I don't do pickup videos, because I wasn't sure anybody gave a shit. So, hopefully somebody does. Maybe I'll start doing them. Maybe. Maybe. Axe in Abridged asks, what game do you think deserves a sequel that did not have one? And by the way, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac for the win, motherfuckers. Well, yes, Johnny Homicidal Maniac for the fucking win. But anyway, beyond that, as far as game sequels go, I've actually done a couple of these videos, but I'm going to come up with a couple other ones which I think do deserve sequels. One of which just so happens to be one of my favorite RPGs on both Sega Dreamcast and GameCube, and that's Skies of Arcadia. I love that game a whole lot. I'm kind of sad that there is no sequel to it whatsoever. Why? I have absolutely no fucking clue. They really should be doing a sequel to it. But beyond that, I'd say, let's see, Killer 7, that was a really good game. I like that a lot. It had a really distinctive style to it that just you wouldn't see anywhere. I'm hoping that does get a sequel. A game that I don't think will get a sequel, it did come out for 360. A lot of people gave it really shitty reviews, but if you're a fan of like survival horror game and just if you can look past like how dated the game is, it's actually really fun. And that's Deadly Premonition. I like that game so much. I really did. I would love to see like a prequel to it mostly, just because Agent York, the main character, pretty much talks about all this crazy shit that he had done beforehand. So it would set up really well for a prequel. Um, Other games, I guess. I would like to see a true sequel to Disgaea Hour of Darkness. Now, granted, there is Disgaea 2, there is Disgaea 3, and there's even Disgaea 4 coming out, but they always have like new characters and new storyline and all this other shit. And the reason I even liked the franchise was because of the first game in general. They even made an anime based off of it, which turned out to be pretty good. But I would like to see a direct sequel to that, just starring, you know, Laharl, Etna, Flan, and everything. I want to see that kind of sequel. That would be really awesome. So yeah, those are just random games off the top of my head that I think would be really badass if they got sequels that have unfortunately not. Sad face. Freedom Fighter 82 asks, if a manager from the band 357 String Band offers you a spot in a band, which instrument would you choose? Well, let's see. What instrument would I choose? Well, it would have to be string-based, because I couldn't play drums or piano or saxophone or any other random fucking instrument I could think of. So yeah, I'll go with banjo. Just because banjos sound fucking funny. Because it doesn't look like they have any electric guitars or anything like that in their shit. So yeah, I'll play a fucking banjo. I'll rock the living shit out of that fucking banjo. I can't fucking play guitar, it don't matter. I'll make it sound cool though. And if nobody in the crowd likes it, I'll fucking beat them with it. It'll be like a really awesome live show. Big J Man 12345 asks, number 1, are you or were you ever scared of games like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, etc.? Number 2, what's the scariest game you've ever played? Number 3, how many of your consoles have broken down on you? And number 4, what is the mother of all games, a game that has it all? Well, have I ever been scared of any game that I've played? Truthfully, no. But I'll let everybody in on a little secret. The very first time that I played Resident Evil was back in the mid-90s when it first came out. My brother picked the game up, okay? And I want you to keep in mind that the only games that I was playing at the time were Super Nintendo. The day that I played Resident Evil, I just got done playing Super Mario World, going through for like the millionth fucking time. So I go upstairs to his room, I plop my ass down in front of the TV, and I start playing through Resident Evil. I have no fucking clue what this game is. I don't know a goddamn thing about it. I barely even read the fucking back of it. I just pick it up, go, oh, okay, and put it in. I start playing it. The first time that I saw it, I was just blown away by the visuals. I was like, holy shit. But then, you know, I'm walking around as Chris, because, I mean, I was a little kid. Who the fuck wants to play as the girl, even though Jill's game's way fucking better? It has Barry in it. Plus, she has extra item slots. Anyway, so walking around as Chris and everything, I'm still getting a hang of the controls. I'm still just blown away, like, voice acting. Holy shit. And I walk into a room, and there's a zombie just eating that person. I'm like, holy shit. There's blood! Oh my fucking god! Oh my god, he's turning around at me. No. No. And then it cuts to, like, the actual gameplay, and I'm just like... And I still didn't know how to equip a gun. I was just walking around. Like, I had no fucking clue about the menu. I'm just wandering around. So all of a sudden, a zombie comes over and starts biting me, and I'm like, holy shit, he's fucking eating me! No, fuck! Fuck! No, no, no! I'm dying! I'm really fucking dying! Fuck! 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 So I don't know how to run yet, either. So I'm trying to walk away, doing that weird fucking turning action. I'm like, shit! No, fuck no! Oh my god, I'm fucking dying! No, why? Oh god, I'm dead, I'm dead. You died. And I'm just like, that was the most intense shit I've ever fucking played. Okay, I gotta learn how to play this game. From that point, I got the instruction manual and learned how to play the right way. But yeah, that's probably, technically, I guess, the most scary moment I've ever had in gaming. As for the scariest game I've ever played, legitimately, I'm gonna have to go with the Fatal Frame series. Now, there's gonna be people out there who be like, oh, bullshit, blah, 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 blah. You know, say what you will, I don't care. But it's a fact that it just had this really fucked up atmosphere about it. And here's another one of the reasons why I can attest it's scary factor or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I was playing Fatal Frame 2, okay, with a room filled with people. Like, I was playing a game and a bunch of people were coming down, so they all came down to hang out. The room is filled with fucking people. As I'm playing, there's like that ghost chick that she can basically just one-shot you. So she's horrifying to even fucking run into. All she has to do is walk up and poke you in the fucking eye and you're dead. Well, just so happens that I was trapped in a closet because I was running from her. I had nowhere to go. I was fucking cornered. I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh god, what the fuck do I do? Then all of a sudden she starts whispering at you, you know, telling you that you're gonna have to come out sometime and all this shit. And I'm like, dude, that's fucked up. As soon as I came out, like, the girls in the room started fucking flipping out and screaming and made the fucking dudes jump and everything. And I ran and I like did this crazy zigzag around the room and actually got past her. And there she was in the next room fucking chasing me. And I zigzagged around her. She never actually killed me, but she brushed along me so much. Like, it might as well have fucking killed me. But yeah, seeing a bunch of people flip out in a room, yeah, I think that can attest to its, like, scary factor. So yeah, that's probably the scariest game that I've played. How many of my game consoles have broken down? Ugh. I had a PS1 breakdown on me. I had 3 Dreamcast breakdown on me. Yes, 3. I've altogether had 5. I have one white one that works most of the time, and I have the Black Sega Sports Dreamcast. That one actually works flawlessly, so if you guys ever decide to go get one, get that model. It works really well. And my original PS2 started crapping out. I still have it hooked up, ironically, because I love the thing to death. Because it's over 10 years old. I got it. It's a first model PS2, and it's now just starting to fuck up. So yeah, that's a testament to the PS2 in my opinion. But yeah, I haven't had too many systems actually break down on me. I did have a Nintendo break on me though, and that's because when I was little, I threw it. I was mad. I was just like, fucking game! Nah! So yeah, it didn't really break down on me. I kind of broke down on it, maybe? Yeah. But I actually have been pretty lucky. Oh, actually, I forgot one more. I shouldn't have forgotten this. My original PS3 crapped out on me. The fucking Blu-ray drive in it stopped reading Blu-rays. So it could read PS1, PS2, DVDs, and read the games off of the system, but it couldn't play PS3 games. Well, if it's a PS3 and doesn't read PS3 games, it's fucking useless. It's a fucking big, heavy fucking paperweight. I don't want a fucking paperweight. I didn't go out and buy, you know, the interactive, technologically advanced paperweight of the future. No, it's a fucking PS3. So yeah, that fucking crapped out on me. Luckily, I did the old switcheroo. Can't really say exactly what I did, but I got a working PS3. Hooray! But anyway, yeah, those are all the systems that decided that they were gonna just on me. And what is the mother of all games that has it all? Ugh. That is way too hard of a question for me to answer, because I'm one of those people, I take all sorts of shit into account. So yeah, I can't really answer that question. I'm so sorry, because there's just too much to think about. It's like, well, what game has like awesome multiplayer? Alright, what has the best story? What game has like the most kick-ass graphics? Alright, what game has like the best mini games in it? And all this other shit that I would have to think about, and it's too fucking much. Just too much. So I'll just have to go and say it's either E.T. or Superman 64. Those games have it all. No, those games are fucking piles of shit that should be burnt whenever somebody sees them. I fucking hate them. Shaq Your Lover 2 asks, what game seriously grabbed onto you and made you start playing video games for real? For real? I guess for real, the first game that really grabbed me was probably Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, I played the Super Mario games before that. Okay, I played Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, I played a bunch of games before that. And I loved the shit out of those games. I played those games through and through, got every single secret, and just owned those games. But Super Mario Bros. 3 had all sorts of little secrets and all types of like hidden areas and shit. So it was the first game that I really mastered, and it was like a testament to my actual ability as a gamer back in the day. Because like there was full-grown adults playing the game, and I was just owning the shit out of them, you know. And they were just like, wow, you're really good. And I was like, yeah, that's because I'm a gamer. But yeah, that's probably the first game that I would say really grabbed me and pretty much helped me along my path of nerdom. Crow667 asked, Number 1, with Alice in Madness Returns coming out now, are you excited for it, and have you played the first game, American McGee's Alice? Number 2, I think I saw that you had something that resembled a Deer and Gray shirt on once. Are you a fan of the band, and if so, what is your favorite album? And number 3, I know you're not much of a PC gamer, but have you ever considered try playing such franchises as Stalker or The Witcher? Cheers from Sweden. As far as American McGee's Alice goes, yes, I have played that. I actually bought it. It was actually when EB was still around, and they were getting rid of like all their PC games for some reason, and they had like a bunch of budget EA games. So I bought it was like 5 games for $10. So it was dirt cheap, and American McGee's Alice was one of them. And I was just blown away how neat the game was. Like, it was really fucked up. It was like a horror gothic type Alice in Wonderland. Like, a lot of people have had their rendition of Alice in Wonderland, whether it was like a horror fantasy type, the little gothic version, or one that was just like, it was pretty much a big drug trip, which Alice in Wonderland technically is a drug trip if you read the actual book. But anyway. Yeah, so I have played it and I enjoyed the shit out of it. I am going to get Alice Returns, but it's just, I have so many other games to play beforehand. So yeah, it's on my to-do list, but yeah, I am going to play it, definitely. As for Deer and Gray, I actually am a fan of them. As for albums, it's going to sound really retarded, but I just have random songs from them, and I liked them a bunch. And I got the shirt from my girlfriend, ironically, and I thought it was really fucking cool. So yeah, I don't actually have a favorite album, just have a bunch of random songs that I like from them, but they are pretty fucking badass. As for being a PC gamer, it's not so much I'm not much of a PC gamer, I just don't have a PC gaming machine to really, like, get into most of the games I want to play. That's what I'm, like, saving up for at the moment. But as for, like, The Witcher and Soccer and everything, those, ironically, are 2 games that I have checked out. Like, I've seen videos of them, I've seen reviews of them, previews and whatnot, and they look like they're badass. As a matter of fact, I think The Witcher might be going on consoles. I'm not 100% on that, but I heard that it might be. As for, like, playing them, yeah, I do want to check them out, so hopefully when I finally get the money together to get this machine, because it costs a pretty penny, yeah, I will definitely be checking them out. Cage137 asks, Number 1, hands down, what's your worst video game ending ever? It has to be from the PS1 or to this gen. Number 2, pick one game that needs a remake or a sequel. Number 3, who's your favorite video game composer? And number 4, what's your favorite video game developer? Well, as for worst ending, I mean, there's actually a lot, but there's one that has stood out in my mind. And it's actually for a game I absolutely fucking detest. And that happens to be Final Fantasy X-2, X2, whatever. It's pile of fucking crap. So, as you're playing through the pile of fucking crap, if you don't have a strategy guide or somebody there to tell you, do this, this, and this, the game quite literally steers you in a direction so that you do not get 100%. And here's the thing, if you don't get 100% in that game, guess what? You get a fucking pointless ending. You have to get every single fucking goddamn thing to see the actual ending that's worth a shit. So if you don't get 100%, you've wasted like 50 fucking hours of your life for absolutely no fucking reason. Sure, I could go on YouTube and I could just look up the ending, but if you just want to play through it and actually enjoy it, yeah, it's one of the worst fucking things ever. It's one of the reasons why I should just fucking turn around, take the game, and fucking chuck it at a wall, but I haven't. It was a gift, so yeah. It'll sit there and gather dust. I'm never touching it ever again. And if I do, it's gonna make it's just basically to like make fun of and I don't know, to torture somebody with. Because it's a good torture device. But like, where is it? Tell me where is it? And they're like, I don't know. But like, don't make me get Final Fantasy X2. And they're like, no. But like, do you want it? And they're like, yeah, I'm so fucking sorry, please. I'll tell you. Yeah, it's a torture device now. I just made that official. Pick one game that needs a sequel. Well, let's see. I did pick a couple games earlier that need a sequel, but I'll pick another one. Battletoads. Battletoads is fucking awesome. Granted, it has one of the most infuriating fucking stages ever conceived in fucking video game history of all level design to fucking the hovercraft fucking area where you're speeding through the tunnel. Yeah, I fucking hate that. because I always died on it. But anyway, the game is a lot of fun, despite the fact that, you know, in two-player you can beat the shit out of each other. That's annoying, but I still love the shit out of it and would love to see a sequel. They did have a pseudo-sequel, I guess, with Battletoads and Double Dragon, which I like that a lot too. But yeah, I want to see, like, an actual Battletoads sequel. You know, I wanted to, like, have everything intact, because it was pretty awesome. My favorite video game composer, I'm gonna have to say Daisuke from the Guilty Gear franchise. That dude puts out such amazing music. I've got every single Guilty Gear soundtrack ever on my computer, at least. And I love them all. The dude does not put out bad music whatsoever. I don't know. He's able to pretty much, like, spin gold with his fucking guitar. Like, it's amazing. The dude is just absolutely fucking amazing. My favorite developer, that's actually a hard one, because there's a lot of really good developers out there, but I'll have to say, I'm debating so hard on this right now. I'll have to say Capcom, genuinely. Capcom puts out so many good franchises, it's kind of sickening. I would say Nintendo. Wow, that actually... Okay, there you go. That's going to be my big debate right now. It's either Nintendo or Capcom. I don't know. I can't make up my mind, because it's questions like that, like, I start taking into account of all sorts of things, because, I mean, Nintendo has, like, God knows how many fucking franchises that are just amazing. You know, they publish and they develop, and then you have Capcom, who does the same exact thing. They develop and they publish. So, yeah, both of them are just fucking amazing. I can't come up with a definite answer, but it's one of those two companies, because they're fucking brutally awesome. TommyBoy4550 asked, if I could have control over the next Resident Evil game, what direction would I take with it, and what characters would I include? If I got control of the next Resident Evil, I would make these changes. Number one, it would be just like the old Resident Evils, except for it would have the control just like from Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5, except for I could move around and shoot at the same time. What a fucking concept, right? But anyway, see, there would be no more of this silly bullshit that it's like some kind of cult and everything. No, fuck that. And it wouldn't be like people that look like they're dead and starving coming after you and just slowly coming at you, and then all of a sudden they get the crazy head and shit. Because they're not scary whatsoever. Not even fucking slightly. They're just not scary. But here's the thing. If I decided that I was going to do it, it would have zombies. I'd bring Umbrella back. I'd put you back in Raccoon City. I don't give a shit if it was fucking blown up. I'd restart. Or I'd make, like, another Raccoon City. I don't give a fuck. I'd put you back in, like, some little, like, out of the fucking way town that's surrounded by the woods and shit. Just because I liked that scenario, because it was a fucked scenario, and it worked really well. So yeah, I missed that kind of setting, and those kind of monsters. They were pretty awesome. But anyway, as for characters though, I would actually bring in Jill, Chris, Barry, of course, Leon, Claire. Now here's the reason why I would want all those characters, because most of those characters have never even met each other. Like, I've actually talked to my friends about that. Like, Chris has never met Leon, and Claire has never met Jill, and Barry's never met anybody except for Jill and Chris. So it's just weird that you have, like, all these characters who have never met one another. It's just really fucked up. Yes, I am leaving out characters, but I don't give a fuck about them. They can come back in another game. But in my game, that's who would star. I would have all those characters. Naturally, Wesker would show up, because, I mean, he's a protagonist. He has to show up. He's like one of the fucking most annoying characters to show up, because it's like, oh shit, Wesker's gonna beat my ass. So yeah, he's a main character and a bad guy. He's gotta be around. And he's gotta foil your plans or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, my Resident Evil game, it would go something like that. I think it'd be pretty fucking awesome.